Our protagonist, Arata, wakes from a terrible nightmare with a handful of his friend's chest. Her name is Hijiri, and she is also Arata's cousin. They have breakfast together and look at a picture she drew him. He set it as his wallpaper and she's embarrassed. On the walk to school, Arata thinks about how boring his life is just before noticing that the sun is black. Just then, a red-headed woman walks by and tells Arata to awaken or she will kill him. So, he attends class, then goes to the roof to hang out with Hijiri. He casually asks her how long the sun has been black, and she says, "It's always been that way." She tells him the world he's living in is the same as when he created it. When he questions her about this, she says all they need to worry about is having fun. She offers to do anything he wants if he stays with her forever. Arata has a weird flashback, then asks if Hijiri is an imposter. She denies it, and he asks her secret questions, which she knows the answers to. Then he asks her what color the sun is, and she says it's always been black. Arata whips out his phone and asks her why she drew it red as a child. She compliments him on figuring it out, just before she deflects a magic bullet. Arata recognizes the shooter as that student with the great rack from earlier, the one who threatened to kill him. Her name is Lilith Asami, and her sexy assassin outfit is her mage combat uniform. Of course. The Hijiri double snaps her fingers to dispel the illusory world. The real world is a mess of decay and destruction. Arata is shocked, and Lilith explains that 3 days ago, a gravitational fluctuation called a breakdown phenomenon swallowed the entire town. Arata has a flashback to the real Hijiri, saying goodbye to him. She tells him to take care of himself and try to wake up on his own. She then kisses him and disappears. He finds himself floating in darkness, alone with a magic book that Hijiri gave him. He wished to get his normal life back, and the book created the illusion and became the imposter Hijiri. Lilith expresses shock that the book could create such an elaborate illusion. She takes Arata hostage and tells him to have the book stop the illusion forever so she can destroy the grimoire and all of his memories. The alternative is, of course, death. He asks the grimoire if Hijiri is alive, and she says yes. Arata decides that neither choice is right for him. He decides to take the third choice instead. He decides to become a mage and attend the Royal Biblia Academy. Lilith shows him around the school, and we learn that she's actually a teacher there, not a student. Arata greets his class rudely.
Nice to meet you, freaks.
Before Selena asks him what kind of girl he likes.
I'm partial to big old boobies. Although I could dig a girl with small ones too if she's hot and a decent face, but donka-donk.
Right, so you like all girls and all girls hate you.
Then she asks him if he really created a new world, a demon lord level feat. The class is in awe of his power, and he realizes that he's kind of a big deal. News of the new student reaches the dean, who welcomes Arata to this secret magic school. The school specializes in training magus in combat magic. Dean goes on to explain that anything is possible with magic, so Arata decides to use magic to save Hijiri, and to use magic to make a shortcut to do it. He's lazy like that. The dean tells him about the Trinity 7. They are 7 students who are more like final bosses than average students. Lilith is one of the 7, even though she's a teacher. The dean suggests that Arata get to know the 7, and maybe make them his pawns. Later, Arata and Lilith walk through the school when he notices a ninja stuck to the ceiling.
Holy crap, you're a ninja.
Her name is Levi Kazuma, and she is one of the Trinity 7. According to her, ninja arts, magical arts, and bedroom arts are all very similar. Lilith protests, but we know better. Levi flirts with Arata by telling him about her sexy ninja techniques. Arata asks Lilith if the rest of the Trinity 7 are as hot as her and Levi. They look out the window and see 2 more members of the 7, Akia Fudo and Miri Yamana. These are supposedly the strongest 2 of the 7. Levi explains that all of the 7 are women because magic comes from the heart. Lilith objects and says that it also takes desire and restraint. Levi and Arata flirt with Lilith, earning him a slap. Apparently, Lilith really likes him. While laying in bed, Arata's grimoire appears and tells him that he should take a bath. So he goes to the men's bath and finds a naked Aren Kanazuki standing there. He gets to bathing, but Aren wants to talk with him. He asks why she isn't freaked out about being naked, so she lets out a convincing scream.
That is terrible!
He asks if she's okay, and she tells him her bra size. It's 32C, by the way. Our protagonist runs back to his room and yells that he loves this place. On the way, he runs into Lilith, who's embarrassed. Later, Arata reflects that he will need the 7 to rescue Hijiri. The next day, everyone is in class learning about some archaic subject. Aaron follows him closely all day. At lunch, in the hall, staring at him in class, and almost to the bathroom. Arata accuses her of following him, and she says it's because he's the Demon Lord candidate. It's her fate to become the bride of the Demon Lord, so she will always watch him. Super creepy. Arata fantasizes about a beautiful mage wife before she walks off. Back in his room, Arata finds Levi, Lilith, and Selena, who is there to interview him. Lilith is just there as a chaperone, despite being the same age as everyone else. They get to talking about love potions and who Arata would ravage first, and
I'd have to go after the biggest, beautifulest boobies first.
Lilith gets embarrassed, and Arata decides to ask about magic. Levi fantasizes about Lilith teaching an anatomy lesson. Lilith is embarrassed by the talk of the special tutoring sessions. She turns her focus towards teaching Arata about magic. His grimoire is a special one. It's called the Astil Codex. It holds all of the knowledge of another world. Arata talks with the Codex, but it's sleeping. It does that a lot. The book was thought to be a myth until Arata showed up with it. His first task as a mage should be to find a research theme or thema. Each of the 7 acts as a representation of a thema. They are based on the 7 deadly sins. Just then, the world turns black.
Whoa, what the heck is going on?
It's a blackout! Stay calm, everybody.
Arata does the classic anime fall into a compromising situation. Then the Codex tells them that they're trapped in a barrier, and Arata gets slapped again. No one can escape, and they talk about how creating a little world like this is high-level magic. Lilith says that they're cut off from the rest of the world with some magic that does not follow reason. The grimoire says that the only way out is to act irrationally before going back to sleep. So Arata does an irrational thing by throwing a chair to try to break out. No luck. Everyone figures out that this is some sort of test for Arata, who is 100% confident in his abilities. Later, he is just about ready to give up when he's reminded of a critical fact. There's no bathroom. He's a gentleman and promises to keep any accidents a secret. Selena and Levi are fine, but Lilith is struggling to hold it. This is a major emergency, and they need to get out right now. Levi is kind of into this whole thing. Kinky. Selena cheers Lilith on right before Levi announces that she has to go too. She refuses to suffer alone, so she hypnotizes Selena so she has to pee as well. The 3 women are really struggling. A lesser man might be into this, but Arata has standards. He asks the book for help, and it's not very helpful. Everyone decides to play a trick and act like they've already found the solution. Then the grimoire reveals that the solution is under the bed. Selena uses her magic camera to search the bed, and Lilith blasts it with her cannon. Arata kicks the door in like a Chad.
All right, now who has to pee?
The grimoire compliments Arata on his trick. He asks it about themas, and Aaron offers to fill him in. A thema is the focus of a mage's research. Through the study of a thema, a mage can cast spells. He tells Aaron that he knows that the barrier was her doing, but he's not mad because
I got to see the strangely hot side of 3 sexy girls trying not to pee.
she asks if he's into girls peeing and offers to do that right now. He asks her not to. She talks with the grimoire, and Arata notices how much she looks like Hijiri. She tells him that he's supposed to be the boss of the bad guys because he's the Demon Lord. Arata mentions the headmaster who busts in like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Well, I guess that happened.
Arata and Aaron walk off to talk more, and Aaron immediately asks,
So, now that we got away from him,
You want to have premarital sex?
Arata dodges the question and asks Lilith to stay with him forever. He invites Aaron to join, so it's technically not cheating. After he gets slapped again, Aaron tells them why she trapped him in the barrier. The headmaster told her to do it to see if he would make another breakdown phenomenon. Lilith already took care of the headmaster, so that problem's solved. Aaron decides to show Arata some magic. She undergoes a magical transformation to release her thema. All of the 7 can do these transformations. It's them releasing their Magus mode. Her thema is destruction, and the first thing she destroys is the limits on Arata's power. A bold move, we will see if it pays off. She fully expects this to result in the school being destroyed by a breakdown phenomenon. Okay, she might get exactly what she asked for. The school starts to dissolve into a black sun, and 2 wings sprout from Arata. Lilith transforms to kill Arata, but no one kills Aaron's husband but her. Suddenly, Akio and Mira Kool-Aid Man into the room. Does this room not have doors too? The new arrivals had just stopped another breakdown phenomenon and knew the solution here. Kill Arata. Mira can halt the breakdown, but cannot reverse it while Arata lives. Her Tima is Superbia, or Pride. She asks Akio to kill him, so she powers up a magic kick and gets him right in the head. She knocks him through the wall, and his magic disappears. Unfortunately, the breakdown worsens. Arata finds himself transported to a dream world where he meets another member of the Seven, Yui Kurata. She perpetually lives in this dream world for some reason. She also shows him the outside world and how messed up it is because of him. She says that he is destroying the whole school and needs to get his power under control. Most of the Seven are currently safe within a magical barrier or are too strong to be broken down immediately. Yui decides that Arata is like a big brother to her and offers some advice to her big bro. He needs to research a Tima to gain control of his powers. He figures that Mira's Tima is justice, so his must be the opposite for some reason. Yui sends him back just in time. The barrier is breaking. Arata busts through the ground like a mole man, then says he will try to control the breakdown phenomenon. But Mira just wants to kill him to stop it. Akio recommends killing him if he fails instead. He notifies his grimoire that his Tima is control. The book agrees to form a pact with him and grant him more power. He releases his Magus mode by changing clothes to show that he is serious. He orders all the magic to dissipate, which dispels all nearby clothing as well. This was a surprising event for most of the women, but Mira blocked the effect just in time to keep her dignity. The school was mostly destroyed, and almost everyone is naked, so the class just moves to a beach town. There, Erin boasts about how her husband dispelled the breakdown phenomenon. Lilith tells everyone to keep it secret, and Levi gets a handful of her secrets. These plot points are a pleasant mix of soft and firm, and Levi is obsessed. Later, Selena asks Arata to show her his
Wanna see my banana hammock?
Magus power. His grimoire reminds her about almost peeing on herself. Then he whips out his banana, Magus mode. As soon as he transforms, she traps him using her magic. He uses his dispel magic technique, and Selena is declothed. Later that night, Levi and Selena are walking through the halls when they hear Lilith whisper.
We shouldn't do this, Arata.
They fantasize about the possibilities when Lilith overhears them and gives them the bonk. Arata tells everyone that he's ready to work on getting Hijiri back after they have a pillow fight or a bath together. On the way to the baths, they all discuss how Arata has to make the Trinity Seven his pawns to get Hijiri back, and Lilith is not amused. One problem with this, though. We have only met 6 of the 7. Lilith says that no one knows where the final member is. Selena is clearly hiding something. In the bath, Arata and I are disappointed to find the girls wearing swimsuits. Mira and Akio call him a perv before leaving. Arata reflects that he needs to get on their good side because they are the strongest of the 7. Selena recommends that he learn to control his magic to only target one person at a time. He decides to copy Lilith's gun to help him focus his magic. She doesn't want to help him, but he begs.
Come on, please! Just a little peek, that's all I'm asking.
Then he begs for real, and she agrees. He sees her cast the spell, and the grimoire copies it easily. This book can basically copy anyone's magic. Back at the school, Arata and Lilith walk to class, where they find everyone asleep. They cannot seem to wake them. Arata thinks it's because Lilith's class is boring. Probably true. The headmaster says it's because all the weak students are tired from being exposed to powerful magic. He suggests,
Let's play some sexy pranks on all the sleeping little cuties, shall we?
good news, sexy pranks are Arata's specialty. They both get a slapping from Lilith. Little does Lilith know that they're into it. It turns out that the powerful magic keeping everyone asleep is due to a breakdown phenomenon. These seem to be happening all the time now. Mira and Akio run off to brood and take care of the breakdown themselves. Mostly brooding, though. Arata admires them for being so bold, so Aaron offers to get naked again.
You want to see me naked again?
Unfortunately for us, he declines. The headmaster tells the remaining students that the breakdown is caused by a power from under the school. Everyone concludes that this must be Yui. Arata remembers that Yui is almost as hot as Lilith. Everyone heads down to the school's dungeon. Of course, the school has a dungeon.
We're a magic academy, duh.
We learn that Yui is a special type of mage who lives in a dream world, but she is preparing to awake soon. This would be bad. She's the second strongest mage, and her power could put the whole world to sleep. Her waking up is probably Arata's fault, because he is the Demon Lord candidate. It's a race to reach Yui first, because Mira and Akio are just going to kill her. On the way, everyone changes into their Magus Mode uniforms. Then, they encounter shadowy demons who feed on magic users. Arata asks his grimoire to turn into a gun again, and it says,
Well, I guess I could give it a shot.
I love the confidence. Aren puts up a barrier to buy time. Arata summons his gun, which is a little different than before. He gives it a few tries before throwing it down. It explodes and takes Lilith's and Aren's clothing with it.
What is wrong with you, Arata?
You are useless.
Luckily, Levi jumps in to save the day with an excessive amount of slashing. It's a slap-chop level of slicing, really. After the shadow demons are defeated, the group talks about how Levi is especially motivated today. Maybe she has some sort of special relationship with Yui. Suddenly, the path turns dark, and more shadow monsters start to crawl under everyone's clothing. Everywhere under the clothing. Eren handles the monsters with her magic. Arata tries to copy it, but it doesn't work. Probably because he needs to see Lilith boobs for the grimoire to work. That's what it was last time. Eren explains that she used her magic purely to defend Arata's junk from the shadows. Everyone continues to kill the demons, and we learn that Arata needs to program spells into his grimoire like computer macros. The group makes their way to the final floor of the dungeon and talk about how easy it was to get there. Just then, Mira and Akio Kool-Aid Man into the room again. These two just refuse to use doors. Arata asks them not to kill Yui, and they refuse that too. Levi steps up to stall them by fighting Akio. The ninja activates a divine wind that exposes Mira's
Bunny rabbit panties.
The other three rush to Yui's room, which contains Yui and a big dragon. Big monster dragon. The dragon's magic does something to Arata, and his demon wings pop out. He tries to blast Arata, but Eren is not having it. Lilith tries her magic on the dragon, but it's not very effective. Just then, Mira and Akio walk through a door for the first time, and everyone worries about Levi. She shows up and does her thing with Lilith. Everyone agrees to a temporary truce to take out the super jacked dragon. Levi helps Arata control his powers while everyone fights the beast. She really wants Arata to join her in the fighting and warns him that there will be bigger fights in the future. Levi delves into the nature of magic, and she is intrigued by how Arata wants to control everything. Lilith and the grimoire continue the magic lesson. Magic can be overused and destroy the user, turning them into the shadow demons we saw before. But because Arata is a demon lord, he would become a shadow demon worse than the dragon they're fighting now. This is the first time Arata has really gotten along with the grimoire. Levi flirts aggressively while Arata imagines making a magic gun. He summons the gun, runs up to the dragon, and boom! Headshot! Yui wakes to see everyone and forgoes clothing for a hug. Levi enjoys the view. The next day, our protagonist reflects.
There's a naked lowly in my bed.
It's actually two. What a Chad. Lilith comes to get Arata and is shocked by the throuple.
Got room for one more.
She is not having it. Later, Arata is admiring the girls' gym uniforms when Yui and Eren compete for his affection. Yui tells Eren not to worry because she will just be his mistress. That easy.
Oh my god, I love this place.
He watches Lilith jogging when Akio and Mira walk up to him. Mira warns Yui that she will kill her and Arata if they pose a threat to the school again. Selena announces that everyone is competing for Arata's love. He informs Lilith, and she is not happy.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Levi and Akio are ready to finish the fight they started in the dungeon. They waste no time in activating their Magus mode, and Aren does the same to prove herself to Arata. Selena loves this action, and asks Lilith if she is worried that the other girls will steal Arata away. Yui wants to join, so she transforms and brings everyone to her dream world. She sent everyone else to their own dream, so she could be with Arata alone. Unfortunately, Mira managed to block Yui's spell, so she's still awake. She teleports
Later.
away or disappears or something. Yui tries to kiss Arata, but he puts that on pause. We learn that she's never really had a friend, so Arata offers to be her first. He friend zones her so well that she's thrilled about it. She even offers a friends with benefits scenario. Unfortunately, a sleeping Lilith interrupts Arata's lewd plotting. Yui gives him a cheeky kiss before sending him back to the real world. Later, Akio spooks Mira in the showers. They try to relax, but Mira is brooding really hard. She explains that she's feeling defeated due to there being more breakdown phenomena happening. Akio assures her that everything will be just fine. Then, we see a vision of a student walking through the hallways ominously. Things will not be fine. The next morning, Lilith surveys the damage. It was a break-in, and there's evidence of a small breakdown phenomena there. Lilith tells Yui to stop flirting with Arata, and she declines. Everyone agrees that this breakdown is not due to Yui or Arata. The magical energy reminds Akio and Lilith of a breakdown in some mysterious library. Levi and Aaron tells Arata that there's a ghost about, and it lives in the library. Spooky. Several months ago, the ghost took one of two twins from the library, and no one ever found her. Arata offers to play the magic detective to get to the bottom of this. He goes to the library and offers to help. Mira threatens to kill him, but Lilith calms her down. For some reason, Akio's just sleeping through this. Arata sees Selena acting weird. She tries to explain herself before some weird magic happens. Everyone in the library is transported to some ruins called the Eternal Library. Arata overstays his welcome with Selena, so Yui offers herself up as tribute. Suddenly, Selena saves Arata from some powerful magic. Selena's twin shows up. Her name is Lezelet. She goes by Lisa. She tries to take Lilith's and Mira's magic, but Levi saves the day. Lisa was the girl who was taken from the library by the ghost. We learn that she used a forbidden magic to connect to the Eternal Library and now wants to take everyone else's magic. She did all of this to get an evil tablet grimoire. She tries to teleport attack Arata, but Selena saves him again. Lisa does some disturbing licking thing, and everyone agrees to fight her together. She is 100% evil, but Arata's a leg man too. He's into her. She says that there should be nothing taboo in the world, and parts of Arata agree. Suddenly, she teleports behind Selena and love bites her, taking her powers. This turns Lisa up to 11, and she sprouts her own demon wings. She is now a Demon Lord candidate too. The Trinity Seven feel really betrayed by Lisa. She's the Demon Lord now, but they used to be friends. Selena still has the mark of the Demon Lord on her, which can't be good. We don't know why yet, but it's probably not great. Lilith tells Lisa that she's supposed to study her Tima before becoming a Demon Lord.
Every mage ultimately wants to become a demon lord.
Much like our protagonist, Lisa prefers to take shortcuts. Even though he agrees with taking shortcuts, he does not agree with her methods.
Really? Do you wish to fight her?
He manifests his hand cannon, and Lisa uses her tablet to analyze it. She tries to win him over to her side and offers to help Hijiri. The Seven try to attack her, but they're blasted away. Suddenly, she kisses him, stealing her magic, which gets her really, really juiced. Way too much to show on YouTube. She continues to power up and turns her attention to the Seven. Their clothes once again disappear. Mira and Levi are not affected, so they prepare for battle. The ninja rushes into combat. Both her and Lisa are too fast to see. Luckily, Mira breaks out her ultimate spell, White Universe. Afterwards, Lisa tries a sneak attack. The spell did not work. Meanwhile, Arata is recovering while Selena is slowly dying due to being drained of magic. He reminds everyone that he's the strongest, and Lisa taunts him with Hijiri. Levi manages to land a blow on Lisa and tricks her into getting off balance to clip her wings. Lisa has more magic than skill, so she teleports away to train. Back at the school, Mira scolds Arata for giving up his magic so easily. She tells Akio that they need to train Arata or they will all lose when Lisa comes back. That means it's time for more gym uniforms. Mira says they need to use a shortcut to get Arata jacked up in time. His first task is to fight Akio and copy one of her spells. This is a real learn or die scenario because Akio is not holding back. Elsewhere, Lilith visits Selena and we find Yui playing a sad magical fiddle to help heal her. Levi comes in and says that she can't move her left arm after the fight. Akio continues to beat up Arata and he falls into a compromising situation with Mira. He uses this moment to pay her a heartfelt compliment.
Your breasts feel incredible.
Akio cracks his skull, and Mira clarifies that his training requires him to not dodge attacks. Guy is a human punching bag for a while. Back at the school, shadow demons emerge from everywhere. It gets worse. They have magic-draining tentacles that also remove clothing. Oh, the humanity. The headmaster comes through and starts saving students before Lisa shows up.
Pretty damn exciting, don't you think?
He gets serious and dissolves her demons easily. Then he starts to teach her a lesson in mage combat. She uses her sister's magic to bind him, but it doesn't work on him. He's just too good. Quite frankly, he is much stronger than her.
Snap!
But if she could drain his magic, she would be unstoppable. Suddenly, Lisa sees a horrible visage made of shadow demons. It's the headmaster's grimoire, Solomon's Gate. Looking at it too long makes people go insane. This explains the headmaster a lot. Lisa uses distraction and kicks the headmaster. He's out of the fight. Meanwhile, Akio continues to beat Arata into shape. He asks his grimoire to help copy the spell, and it sprouts a lolly body. Lisa busts into a room and gets trapped by Levi. She escapes and checks on her sister. Selena asks Lisa to become good again if Arata defeats her. Then, Lisa gets her hand chomped by a dragon. Arata can summon a magic dragon now. His lolly grimoire is called Sora, and she taught him how to do some cool magics. He charges at Lisa, who has a wardrobe malfunction. She collects herself, and they square off for a battle. Sora tells Arata to
Touch her chest!
Lisa uses distraction again, and I approve. Then, she uses her ultimate spell. As a member of the Trinity 7, she has access to a secret technique. Hers stops time. She negotiates to take his power again, but he refuses. Then, he lands his own secret attack, using his tongue on that thought. She loses her Demon Lord powers, and Arata invites her to come back and be good again. Lisa says she can't, because she's trapped in time. We learn that Hijiri was a powerful mage before Lisa resumes time for everyone else, leaving her trapped. Everyone copes with the loss of Lisa, and Sora admits to having copied almost everyone's magic. Mira tells Selena to train Arata until he can save her sister.
Tsundere.
Headmaster overlooks the city, and we learn that evil mages wiped out another school.
Selena?
And the other 7 flirt with Arata while helping him study magic. Lilith gets jealous. Arata explains that he really wants to learn magic to save Lisa. I guess he forgot about Hijiri. Lilith explains that learning magic too fast can cause him to get out of control, which would be bad. She and Arata get called to the office and get into another compromising situation with Mira. The headmaster appoints Arata to be second in command of school security, and the students are sent to explore another magic academy. Lilith is tasked with giving Arata private lessons, but the whole team shows up. They discuss the magic specialties of all of the 7, which are based on the 7 deadly sins. And Lilith is embarrassed because
It's lost, okay? Matilda is lost!
the others conclude that she must be a nympho. Unfortunately, the mages all study the opposite of their personalities.
Lilith has a body built for sin, but she's probably the biggest prude I've ever met in my life.
We get a sick magic study montage before Sora jumps on Arata, shocking some visitors. The group go over the mission, which has them exploring the destroyed Magic Academy. Sora notices that the visitors are wearing pajamas.
They're obviously here for some naughty business.
And Akio has been checking out Mira all night. A bug scares Mira into another compromising situation, and Lilith blasts Arata. Later, everyone goes to the baths, and Lilith wants to show Arata something alone. And they bond, because Arata actually says some romantic stuff. Sora helps out her master with a well-placed leaf.
Wow, looks like you kids had a great time last night.
The party tries to teleport to another academy, but it goes poorly. They are sent to the Royal Libra Academy, but a weird version that's not destroyed. And they meet Hijiri there. Mira calls out the imposter Hijiri, who teleports away. Who is this imposter? Surely no one knows.
I know her. She's the Iliad fragment.
She is the same imposter from much earlier. She is also a grimoire. Sora tells us that the entire school was sent to another dimension and they're trapped. The school is full of shadows and Mira's magic malfunctions, destroying her clothes. Magus mode is disabled, but Sora can still kick ass while Arata runs off with Mira. Arata gives Mira his clothes and they talk about undoing the magic keeping the school isolated. Sora fights the imposter Hijiri and gets imprisoned in a magic cube.
Oh, crap!
The duo arrive at the center of the school, where they can dispel the magic, keeping the school isolated. Mira does not want to give Arata a view on the way up the ladder, so he carries her. What a gentleman. She discloses that she has always been a loner because of her magic power. She's just too strong. Then, she met Akio, and they became super best friends. They find Sora and the imposter Hijiri, who wants him all to herself. Sora communicates telepathically and tells Arata to destroy the prison cube to restore the school. Ilya tells him that Hijiri intends to destroy the whole world and promises to reconnect them. Arata pretends to join Ilya, but she betrays him and tries to kill Mira, and drains Sora's magic power. Mira gets attacked by shadows, and Arata is helpless. Then, he flips the protagonist switch and unleashes his true demon form.
This is the true form of the Demon Lord candidate. The entity hidden within Arata Kasuga.
Arata is much more menacing, and actually looks like a main character now. He dispels the illusion magic and frees Sora before making another breakdown phenomenon. Big problem though, Arata is not himself. He's the Astral Trinity now. Mira ain't having it. They didn't stand a chance. Asa goes for the kiss and earns the slap. Sora helps Arata fight for control, and he wins. Arata asks the real Ilya how to get back to school, but she's no longer in control due to the Black Sun. He busts out a new spell and blasts the Black Sun out of the sky. Back in the real world, Lilith catches Arata. He blacks out. Akio suspects that something happened between Mira and Arata. He now has two grimoires. Hijiri watches everyone like an evil creep. Arata takes some time to recover and wakes to see Hijiri, but she says they are enemies and she is stronger than him. Then she tries to kill him, but Lilith comes through clutch. Hijiri has a Demon Lord element in her and has modified her body to use more power than Magus mode. Lilith uses her body as a shield to save Arata from a spell.
I would really appreciate it if you didn't kill me, though, if at all possible.
Hijiri blasts them, but they're saved by Eren, who can warp through time and space now, and accidentally summoned a weird demon spear. Akio and Mira make their traditional appearance, and Hijiri tells them that she's going to go have fun at their school, and teleports there, to hover menacingly. Oddly enough, this hovering person isn't actually Hijiri, it's Luge, a character we have not met before, but she's a badass thief of magical items. Levi jumps into action, but she's no match for Luge. She laments not being able to use her left arm still, and Luge offers to handicap herself. The headmaster acts as a cheerleader for this fight, and prepares to fight another newcomer. Yui moved all of the weak students to her dream world for safekeeping. Levi uses duplication jutsu, which is a great distraction for Luge, who almost bites the dust.
Well, look at that.
Luge commences to beat the brakes off of Levi because she's fast as light. There's no beating her. Levi gets serious and uses her true ultimate attack. Like Lisa's attack, this is a one-time use thing. She summons a powerful whirlwind, and Luge dispels it to find that it was all just a trick to get away. Arata and his party find the teleportation device destroyed, and Lilith proposes that they just teleport themselves there. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place, but here we are. Levi was healed by the newcomer, and sneak attacks Luge. She uses anime razor wires to trap her. No matter how fast you move, you'll still get chopped. Luge summons many blades to break free. She reveals that she is also a Demon Lord candidate and defeats Levi easily. Yui really wants to help, but she can't because it would leave everyone else trapped in the dreams. Selena offers to help, but she's really not strong and really bad at fighting. She does manage to briefly capture Luge and heal Levi before she breaks free. Selena calls for her big sister just before Luge blasts her. But wait, Lisa saved everyone and possessed Selena's body, with some choice enhancements. Camera Selena binds Luge, who sacrifices her weapon to break free. Then she rushes at Lisa and teleports behind her and almost lands an attack before Levi slashes her. Just then, Demon Hijiri appears and tries to win over Lisa. Doesn't really go well. So Hijiri prepares to battle Lisa, Levi, and Yui. Arata falls into a compromising situation with Luge and the others. Mira scolds him for the happy little accident, and Hijiri is oddly happy to fight them all. Arata gives the girls a pep talk, and Lisa takes a moment to flirt using her magically enchanted body. Lug is shocked at how perverted Arata is, and Hijiri says he's always been a fortunate pervert. Everyone does their transformations to prep for the fight, and the headmaster watches with the headmaster of another school, who's evil. They agree to sit this fight out so, they don't destroy the whole world. Hijiri and Mira face off while Akio attacks from behind. She is much stronger than Lug when Yui backs her up. Hijiri uses a special magic that only Aaron can combat, so Hijiri attacks her directly. Luckily, Levi did a body replacement jutsu to give Aaron the upper hand. Her slash lowers Hijiri's defense, so Arata and Lilith can use a dragon gun on her. Pew pew! It overwhelms Hijiri, and she accepts her fate. RIP. JK, she's still alive, and she has secrets to spill. When Hijiri disappeared, she traveled aimlessly through time and space before she saw Arata's future as a pimp, or demon lord. He is destined to team up with the Trinity 7 and destroy the world over and over again. Hijiri wants to break the cycle. She ceases to exist and turns into a crystal which the unknown headmaster collects. Arata promises to save Hijiri again. Later, he contemplates all that has happened when Lilith comes to talk. She invites him out, and it turns into an awkward date.
At least let me thank you for being such a gorgeous pile of woman.
He takes her to lunch, and they find Mira working at a maid cafe. Akio is the chef.
Yeah, this is excellent.
Everyone else watches the date unfold, and the couple watches the sunset together. Lilith tells him that everyone loves him and he has something to give her. She tries to resist his kiss, but he really wanted to give her a magical necklace to protect her. The others emerge from the bushes before everyone goes back to Mira's Mage Maid Cafe. Thus concludes Season 1 of Trinity 7. Despite the name, there are many more than 7 members of this harem,